Okay. Perfect. Should be recording, hopefully. There we go. Okay. Probably would help if I started on the first page though. All right, so I'm freaking excited. I was talking to one of our coaches today. I was working and we were just kind of like masterminding back and forth, and I'm so pumped for December and January and February and March, because a lot of you guys have just been doing the little things right now, and it's literally just going to like blow up and pay off, which is awesome. So that being said, I'm gonna get started. So first and foremost, we were just kind of walking through and talking about, 2020, talking about like the best, I don't know, like steps moving forward for our team, and kind of what to do. Hold on. Hey, Tara, if you can hear me, can you mute yourself? I think it's there's an iPhone. Just kidding. Got it. Okay. So first and foremost, we talked about just kind of like upping our new coach. Hold on, let me grab the door. Okay. We talked about upping our like new coach system or our new coach steps that we have. So a lot of you guys got added into some sort of like new coach training, or got an email from your coach for new coaches, and you've heard about the business activity tracker. You've heard about, checking off these boxes. One of them looks kind of like this. This is a business activity tracker. It's an orange one. There's also a blue one. But we were talking for newer coaches, it's kind of like, if you think about it as when you were in school and your teacher was presenting you a lesson over whatever the topic is, they try to connect it with you first, and then they tried to give you lessons and quizzes along the way. Then they gave you a study guide, then you took the test. I feel like the business activity tracker is a study guide. And so it makes zero sense to all of you until you've actually gone through like the beginning, the like lessons, the quizzes, and then got the study guide, if that makes sense. So I made up, like as simple as freaking possible, some trackers. Okay, so December mentorship pod, January, February, March, April, whenever you have a new coach, they're all going to start this way. So they will have the actual pod itself. So we actually are opening it up team wide. So if you get a brand new baby coach, like you get added into the pod, and then you add your coach in there as well. And so, my hopes are that we as a team are starting on the same level, if that makes sense. And so I've created some trackers, posting calendar, like all the things for your newer coaches. And if you feel like, hey, I kind of want to go through this myself and like see how it is, totally do that. It's totally doable. It probably will help you move your business forward, find the pieces that you're missing. So we're breaking it down into like 3 weeks. So the first week as a coach, you get a really simple tracker, and then I also give you a posting calendar. I did share these in the pods, but I'm just kind of re-going over it. So week 1, they get an actual tracker that says week 1. So it's pretty simple. Monday through actually it's like Thursday through Wednesday. They have 5 things every single day. The exact same thing every single day. Because what we want to work on is consistency. Because if you're thinking about business and you're saying to yourself, I feel like I'm missing a piece. I feel like I post, I feel like I invite sometimes, I feel like I'm connecting, I feel like I'm doing these things, but like nothing's moving my business forward. All of these other things, a lot of it, you guys, is just the consistency piece. And so that's what I want to help you with. So as a newer coach, they're going to get week 1 tracker, and the 5 things for them to check off is workout, shaking nutrition, personal development, one post, that's it, on social media, and then invite or connect, which means if you're a brand new baby coach and you just started posting, you probably don't have a ton of people to invite yet. So your job would be like to start connecting. So you would go to, other people's posts, like and comment on their stuff, maybe connect with some old friends, like that kind of thing. Get your ball rolling so then you can move into that whole inviting process. So that's week 1. And then you also get this cool little posting calendar. And so it has 2 spots for every day, because I did a fitness post and I also did a coaching post. So if you want to step out of your comfort zone as a newer coach, you can do a fitness and a coaching post every single day. I've given you ideas and stuff. But if you're like, you know what, I feel just comfortable talking about my fitness journey right now, like there's all those options. If you're like, I kind of just feel like comfortable talking about the business, you can just pick the coaching. But I went through Thursday to Wednesday, just like I did for the tracker. So literally you're going to welcome a new baby coach to the team. They get into this new coach pod. And then I have that coach mentorship Facebook page, which is 7 days, super simple training, gives them pretty much everything they need to know as a coach. And then they start tracking their business and posting on their business. Okay. So week 1 is just very basic and very simple. When your coach finishes, so like Wednesday night, they're going to say, hey, I'm finished with week 1. Now what do I do? So then you as a coach, without you, feeling like you have to do all these things, I created a week 2 tracker, which looks exactly like week number 1. The only difference is where it says posting, I put 2 times a day. And then I also put stories on there. Okay, so your coaches are now going to post on social media, probably in the morning and towards that night, and then also their stories. And then if they need story ideas, you can literally get them from anyone. I know you watch other people's stories, but it's basically just sharing your life, sharing what you do behind the scenes, sharing a reality TV show of Megan Geese. Like you're just basically sharing what it is that you're doing. Fitness, nutrition, personal development, your team, helping your clients, etc. So week 2, your coach is going to have this tracker, and then she's also can use the exact same posting calendar and just switch it up a little bit. You can literally post like the exact same kind of topics every single week, and then you as a coach use a different photo, use different wording, pick a different objection to post about. So like the what to post about thing doesn't have to be so hard. Just pick some things that go along with like the posting calendar you had from week 1, and just kind of like pick a different objection, pick a different picture, pick a different pain point, like just kind of using the same system. Because when I was teaching, I literally posted the exact same thing every single week. Like Monday was my transformation. Tuesday was my like lifestyle, coaching post. Wednesday was I was doing a live video or getting some sort of engagement. Thursday was my coaching. Like I literally just had posting about the same thing every single week, but I picked a different picture and I picked a different pain point to talk about. But I will be working on more posting calendars so you guys can use them, because I think that they're helpful just for ideas and just ways of like how to promote your business. So as a coach, when they're done with week 2, they come to you and they say, here's my tracker for week 2, all checked off, still 5 things, super simple. And then they have their posting calendar that they have. Then they say, okay, now what? Then as a coach, you say, hey, there's this thing called a business activity tracker, which they already know about because they went through coach training. But there's a blue one from Beachbody, which I would highly recommend them using that one first. And then there's also this orange option, which is kind of a little bit, it's not necessarily more advanced. It's just more of vision and that kind of thing versus like just doing the little things for coaching. So week 3, as a newer coach, they go through business activity tracker. And they also have a posting calendar. So that's their job every single day as a coach. Like they don't have to ask you. They don't have to say like, hey, Shelby, am I supposed to post today? Like, what am I supposed to post about? They know that they're supposed to post 2 times and they have exactly what to say on a post or an idea of what to talk about. And then I would say as a coach, for picture ideas, for, that kind of thing, send them to Pinterest, you guys, and say, hey, go to Pinterest and literally type in like fitness photo ideas or boss babe photo ideas. They'll give you so many just different photos, and then I just recreate those. That's exactly what I do with my Instagram. So if you go to my Instagram and then you go look it up on Pinterest, you'll probably find the exact same thing, because that's literally what I do. So this is what we are going to do for an entire team. So like, let's say, T gets a new coach tomorrow and she's like, awesome. Week 1, here's your tracker. Here's your posting calendar. Okay. Then her coach is like, I'm done. And then she's like, awesome. Week 2, tracker, posting calendar. Perfect. Week 3, business activity tracker, and then her posting calendar. Okay, so this is what we are going to do with our newer coaches. So right now, if you're like, damn, that sounds pretty good, I'm actually probably going to do that myself. I'm going to go through it, obviously myself, because I want to go through with some of my coaches. But I'm hoping that this gives your newer coach the strongest foundation ever, because not only did they just show up for week 1, but week 2 and also week 3. So if you think about your fitness journey, when you start day 1 and you finish day 21, you have a pretty good freaking transformation, right? If you showed up, you did your nutrition, you did your things, same thing with your business. And so this is kind of like that new thing. So I have a new pod open right now. It's called December Mentorship. That's what the dotted line is for, because it's every month. And that coach, once you add them to December Mentorship, they're in there for the entire month. I don't care if they rank advance to 17-star while they're in there. Like, they stay in the pod for the entire month, because something I have been seeing is we have coaches who are super pumped and excited for like the first week. They hit Emerald, and then like all of a sudden they're gone. Like, where did they go? Maybe somebody wasn't, like, people weren't flocking to them. And so now they're like, well, crap, now I don't know what to do. Or they weren't consistent. And so it's, showing up later on their journey. So once you get a new coach, they go into this mentorship pod. They get added to the coach mentorship page. So they literally have every single thing they need to be successful. Them as coaches, they have to take these and go and do. If they don't do that, that's on them. That's not on you as their coach, because you literally just handed them like a platform to run their business. Okay. Now, in the actual pod itself, that's where we're going to be saying, hey, like, how's the invites going? Here's an invite I used today. Hey, how did your PD go? Like the conversations. That's what that mentorship pod is going to be. That's for them to ask those new baby coach questions without worrying about like what veteran coach like Karina is going to say if she asks like a silly question. Bite her head off. No, I'm kidding. But but it just gives them a sense of probably like community, just as like a newer coach. Okay, so here's an example of what week 1 would look like. So that's their actual tracker on the left-hand side. It's Thursday through Wednesday: workout, Shakeology, personal development, post, invite, and connect. If you are a veteran coach right now, this probably sounds like the 4 vital behaviors, and there's a reason for that. Because as a coach for 4 years, this is exactly the same thing I do every single day. It's just a little bit more detailed as you go on. The picture on the right is their posting calendar. The top part is ideas for fitness. The bottom part is ideas for coaching. Same thing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Top is fitness, bottom is coaching. This gives them ideas of what to talk about. Okay, and again, you can literally use this posting calendar for the entire year, just changing it up. So instead of like on Thursday, it says share an outfit you want to rock by New Year's Day. Take out New Year's Day and just add an outfit you want to rock. Maybe it's a pair of jeans. Maybe it's shorts for the summer. Like, you can change all of these and use this year round. I will always be running a coach webinar on Thursday, so you can always invite to that. And so I kind of helped with that piece for Wednesday as well. So this is what a week 1 coach would get. When they're done with week 1, they hand this to you, and then you send them on to week 2. And that's what week 2 looks like. Exactly the same thing. The only difference is for posting, you see 2 times a day, and then the stories. So that's the only difference. And then week 3, this is the business activity tracker. It looks more scarier, but it's actually way more organized. But it's like workout and Shakeology is at the top, your PD is towards the bottom. And then the get people results part is you taking ownership as a coach and checking into your challenge groups and those kinds of things. And then number 2 is the stories we talked about. So you're going to start posting on stories. There's ideas for you. You're going to start having people, messaging you and you needing to follow up. This is going to help you track that piece. Okay, so week 1, week 2, week 3, they get into a December mentorship pod. If you are a coach and you have a newer coach, so I think, I think Keely is under Tara. So Tara has like a newer coach. So Keely would be a newer coach. So Tara needs to reach out to me and say, hey, I have a new coach. And then I add both of them into the pod, if that makes sense. So it's for the entire downline. So if you are like, if your coach's coach or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's for the entire downline. And so that's for the month of December. Let's say Amanda gets a new coach and they sign up December 24th. She's going to put them in the December mentorship pod, but then guess what? Her coach also gets January as well, just because she didn't get the full 3 weeks, if that makes sense. So hopefully this helps our team build a stronger foundation. And so Why am I doing this? Because I am going to be running, or our like leaders of the team and I are going to be running a group pushing for, and my picture's not on there, boo. I just had a picture of the background, but we're going to New Orleans in July for Summit, and we're going to talk about Summit. We're going to talk about what it is and all that stuff this week, but we are running a group on Facebook, a lot like the 6 weeks of What Works group that we just ran, where you dropped your tracker, you had a week of guest speakers, and that kind of thing. I'm doing something like that, but I'm changing it up so it's more action-based for just our team. And so once you have the business understood, you don't have to ask questions like, what's the back office? What's a business activity tracker? I'm supposed to post every day. Once you get through all of that stuff and you build a good foundation, this group is going to be here for you. So once you go through your coach mentorship and you at least rank advanced to Emerald, which means you're showing up in your business, you're inviting, you're getting people to join up with you, you're moving your business forward, you're kind of getting more serious about the business. This is going to be an actual private Facebook group. And so what it's going to be is kind of like your challenge group, but for coaching. So every Thursday, remember your new baby coach, they gave you their tracker. You as a coach, once you get into this group, there's going to be a picture on Thursday and you just drop your tracker below from the week before. So it's a check-in once a week. Okay. Then in my challenge groups, every single night I have my challengers drop below their food, their nutrition, like water or food, nutrition, their mood. And then I actually have them give me a piece of their personal development. That exact same thing for my challenge group is going to go into this coaching one. Okay. So instead of, I don't know, basically it's going to be like, did you do your workout in Shakeology? So did you take care of yourself? Yes. Tell me how it went. Good or bad, 1 to 5. What did you take away from your personal development? Did you post on social media 1 to 2 times? And just like basically checking in every day as a coach, because I feel like as coaches, we're not reflecting on how our day went. Before I go to bed at night, I check my social media and I'm like, does this look okay? Was my wording okay? I actually watch my stories like 45 times a day, just to see if I'm getting that message out there that I want to get out there. And I actually make Aaron listen to it and he's super happy about it, but it helps to have someone else listen to it and like tell them what they're getting from your stories. So it's just like a daily reflection, but instead it's going to be in a group. And I know for me at first I was like, oh my gosh, a daily check-in. I don't think I'll be able to do this with my coaches. And then I thought, I'm making my challengers do this, so why the hell would my coaches not be able to do this? So the group is literally going to be one check-in on Thursday and then just a daily coach reflection. And then I am going to be getting weekly guest speakers, so like top 200 coaches in the company. They're going to come in live in there and just give you a training. So like Rachel is going to come in and talk about, how she posts using, 10 to 50 words in her posts and how she gets her message out there without telling this elaborate story. Or Jen's going to pop on and share how she shares about coaching all of the freaking time. Or Dara's going to come in and she's going to talk about her social media and how she just went for it and like what she did to make it to what it is today. So I'm going to have other speakers coming in once a week to like just give you little trainings, because I'm not good at everything. I wish I was, but I'm not. But I'm going to go find people who are really good at things. So we used to have some coaches hop on our calls and like do like an Instagram audit where they would go through people's Instagrams and kind of give feedback. We had coaches who would just come in and talk about personal development, talk about their struggles and how they came out of it. So that same thing is going to be happening in this group. And again, it's for the whole team. So basically, once you get through coach training, once you get through that mentorship and you're ready to rock, you're using your business activity tracker, you're posting, you're doing stories, you're not overwhelmed because you have everything like set and done because you've done your trackers for 3 weeks. Then you come to this group and all you have to do is check in once. So before it was like daily check-in, how's it going? Where are you at? How's the post? Here's the invite. And then this group, it's like, okay, you can do this. You had 3 weeks of being a rock star coach. Like you can totally do this. And so it's just one check in a week for your tracker, and then daily just coach reflection. So like, how are my posts? Crap, I forgot to post. So I really did awful. Like I need to work on that, or, you know, just kind of those sort of things. And then obviously you'll have a weekly live guest speaker. So there is no call to make, you just catch the live video in the page. And then those people who make it into this New Orleans group, whether you're going to Summit or not, this is still going to be our team focus from January to July. But this is going to be the group that your coach is going to start to pick people to work with in the push pod. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second. So I know this is kind of a lot, but it's just basically like newer pod. Okay, learning the business, working through it for 3 weeks. We have you every single day working on consistency. You get to this group and you're going to be like flying through this group. Okay, it's going to hold you accountable to your tracker. It's going to ask you to reflect daily on your coaching journey. You're going to have guest speakers sharing little bits here and there that are going to help with social media, with getting your story out there, with finding your people, growing your following, who to follow, when to follow, like all of those things. And then these are the people who are showing up and moving their business forward. And these are the people your coach, whoever they are, is going to start picking from this group to put you into the push pod. So, okay. So push pod, as of right now, what it was is just coaches who were like, yeah, I want this freaking business, and who have been showing up, sharing invites and posting, and it's freaking phenomenal. But my only problem is, and I know this sounds terrible, there's way too many freaking people in there, way too many people in a push pod. At the beginning of the year, I picked 6 people and I was like, we're running, we're doing this. And it was only those 6 people. Did I forget about the rest of my team? No. Did I message the rest of my team? Yes. Did they have pods? Yes. This little like 6-person pod that I had at the beginning of the year this year was like every single day I was pouring into them. I was like, where's your invite? How's it going? What's happening? You know, how far are you from your goal? Like those kinds of things. So the push pod we have right now is only going to be opened up to diamond coaches. So if you're a diamond coach on this team, and then you get to bring along 3 coaches. You get to pick those 3 coaches, whoever you want them to be. And so like Karina, for an example, she has 3 coaches she gets to bring into this push pod. It's from January 1 to January, is there 30 days in January, 31 days in January? I don't even know. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31. Yeah, so it has 31. So from January 1 to January 31, Karina is going to work with her 3 coaches. They're going to get help with daily invites. They're going to get help like daily access to myself and all of the other diamonds on the team. They are going to get basically training and help to get that massive growth in their business. And I'm going to tell you that the coaches, the 6 coaches that were in that pod at the beginning of the year, 4 of them had rank advance to diamond within 1 to 2 months. And the other 2 are freaking posting like bosses, and they're just picking up the rest of their business. So you are going to see, and I can actually say this because we've done it before, you will see massive growth in your business. So the girls who are at the end of the year, who are pushing for a 2-star and 1-star, and who you see their social media and you're like, damn, they're good. Yeah, they were in the pod at the beginning of the year. So that's what we're going to be doing as a team. So Karina, Skylar, Jody, Morgan, Shannon, and then obviously like Aaron, because he has coaches under him, so I'll pick 3 for him. And then myself, obviously, you know, we are going to be picking our 3 coaches that we're going to work with just for January. Not saying we're giving everyone else like the, I don't know, the boot out the door. That's not what it is. This is just where like we're going to hang out. We're going to spend a lot of our time with pouring into these 3 coaches that we have. And then in February, guess what? We get to pick 3 different ones. In the pod gets like erased, and then you get 3 different coaches. And so my hopes are, like Mandy's a new coach, for an example. So let's say Mandy's going through week 1, week 2, and week 3 right now of new coach mentorship. So then week 4, like she could be that coach I pick for this push pod. So she just built her business like super strong because she understands posting and inviting and messaging. And now she's in this push pod where she's like, all right, I'm ready to freaking run. So like now she's more confident in herself. I feel like right now our push pod is full of coaches who have some freaking insane energy, but we need to figure out how to like focus the energy, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping that this helps. So the pod is actually, I'm going to leave it for like right now until we figure out who's going to be joining up, but we are going to start that push pod a little bit early just because of like Christmas and stuff. And so it's going to run for the month of January. So your coach, if they're a diamond coach or above right now, they're looking for 3 people who really want to run and really want to do this business with them. And they're going to bring these 3 people into the push pod. So this should push you as a coach to say like, I need to get through the foundational part of my business, and I need to get into this New Orleans group where I'm like consistent and showing up. So my coach sees that, and then your coach is going to take you out of that pod and like work with you basically one-on-one. And so it's just going to be like little mentorships every single month. And so instead of doing like a year-long push, I just want us to do like 30 days. Like 30 focus days and then next group, 30 focus days, next group. And I think if we break it down like that, our team is really going to see a lot more growth. We have energy, like our team has all the energy. We just need to focus the energy so it's paying off for our coaches. And then at the bottom, it says advance house number 1 when we go to New Orleans. I'm going to talk about that more on Wednesday night. But basically, if you're advance your business from January to May of 2020, there's going to be several options of housing when we go to New Orleans as a team, and you will get first pick once you advance your business. So it's another incentive, and I'll talk more about that on Wednesday too. Okay, so just to kind of sum up everything, I'm a teacher, I have to do this. From January to June, basically, we are going to be pushing, but with focus, with like, I don't know, like organization, I guess, focused energy, basically working smarter, not harder. I feel like right now we're working harder, not smarter, and I want to like switch it. So newer coach, or if you feel like, hey, I really would love to do this, you know, mentorship pod. So what it is on Facebook, it literally says December mentorship. There's probably like 6 of you on the call right now who are actually in the pod. And then there's a coach mentorship page. They coincide with each other. It's all about coaching. It's all about the back office. It's all about what Emerald is, what Success Club is, like all of those things. You have a tracker for 3 weeks. So we're setting you up for success. We're giving you every single thing you need as a coach. Once you get through that, you get to be put into like your building or success pod that your coach has, and you get into that New Orleans page. Okay. That's going to help you with consistency in your business, taking ownership of your business, learning a little bit like cooler, more exciting things in the business, like your Instagram bio or brands or presets or like just different things with your business. And then that leadership and push pod is kind of where your business is going to just like take off, and you're going to be like, holy crap, I did this work and now it's like paying off. So those are the 3 steps that I need to put into kind of motion for January, because I feel like some of our team is like here, 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 and here, and then we try to come together and like everyone's like confused AF. So I feel like this is going to help. So the brand new coach mentorship pod is for newer coaches. So like right now, you know, it's just my newer coaches. And I think I added Karina today because I was just chatting with her. So if you have like a newer coach that just signed up in December, obviously, even a little bit into November, they should probably be in the pod. So November, December coaches, if you have a newer one, maybe you had a newer one in October and you kind of like dropped the ball on helping them get started, reach out to me, let me know so I can get you into that. It's not for you to add everybody into the pod. It's just for newer coaches. They're all going to start with their week 1. They're going to go to week 2. They're going to go to week 3. Then they're going to get taken out of the mentorship pod will be in February, and then March and April and so on. And so basically just trying to organize our crazy vibe that we have. Because I was, you know, Josh loves like high vibe stuff, and so do I, but I was like, I need to figure out how to like have like focus with it and stuff. And so this is kind of our like leadership ladder that we kind of came up with. So as far as December, I know a lot of you hit Success Club in November. If you were a newer coach in November, you still have December and January. But a lot of you, I think 6, 7 of you hit Success Club in November. You're still in the running for, I'm doing like a getaway weekend. You're still in running for that. So if you hit Success Club 6 or more in December and January, you still get a spot to go. As of right now, I have a room that holds 10 of us. It's kind of like a big sweet thing that I have, but it holds 10 of us, and there's only 7 of us right now. So, but I also have 7 or 8 of you on the list that hit Success Club for November. So just kind of keeping that in mind, December and January hitting Success Club, you also are getting gifted with the getaway that we talked about. So also kind of just like down the road, May 21st is Summit qualification. So a lot of you guys went to Summit last year. Again, we're going to talk way more about it on Wednesday, but it's basically like the Grammys, but for Beachbody coaches. So May 21st, that week, is when qualification starts for Summit. And a lot of the girls that went last year got to come down and sit with me on the floor and stuff. You know, like, so there's just different opportunities like parties and VIP things and stuff for whatever you do right now. Beachbody does a really good job at recognizing you and rewarding you at Summit. And so like, that's kind of why our focus is leading up from January to June. And then when July comes, we have Summit, which is in New Orleans, and we're going to have a big freaking celebration as a team because we worked our asses off and we got elite for the 2nd year in a row. And then come September, October, November, December, like, we come back and we do exactly what we're doing right now, put our pedal to the metal and like keep going. So that's kind of that part. So, all right, almost done, I promise. Okay, so I have Thursday on here, but I'm going to change it to Wednesday because I do have this wrestling thing that we're going to, I think. So Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to be doing a video just like this. I'm going to talk to you about Summit. I'm going to talk about the 2 houses I'm talking to you about. I'm going to talk to you about qualification and stuff. I'm going to talk about like 2020 goals and how to get there and that kind of thing. And kind of talk to you about, I don't know if you can see, but I have a vision board. I need to find my square. A vision board like right here. That's kind of a hot mess, but we're going to talk about making one of those and setting up those goals and stuff too. So again, I know it says Thursday, but Wednesday at 8:30. And I will record for those people, but I'm probably going to use that time to like take your goals and what you want by Summit, which is technically May/June. So just be thinking about your business, be thinking about 6 months from now where you could possibly be at, knowing that, you know, diamond is not end all be all, but it's definitely easier to get there. You know, we had some newer coaches be like inches from diamond within 30 days. So imagine having 6 times 30 days. So imagine having, you know, 6 full months to get there. So where do you think you could be at if you wanted it, if you had the tools? We have the foundation set up for you. So just be thinking about some goals and stuff moving forward. And then I will be talking about what Summit actually is, when it is, where it is, how to get there, like what we do when we get there, that kind of thing. And then we're going to talk just about like qualification and like I'll come and talk to you about my goals for 2020 and then kind of give you guys some time to like make your own goals, and then we'll have a vision board party as a team. So that's just kind of what's in the making, I guess. Okay. So I know that's a lot. And I just want you guys to know that like as a coach with all of this, let me stop. There we go. As a coach, I'm always trying to like look for that next thing that's going to help our team, or how I can like tweak something a little bit. And after doing masterminds with you guys, a lot of us are just missing. We're either inviting and not posting, or we're posting and not inviting, or we're just not doing it consistently enough for it to like come together. And so that's why I'm going to be like, hey, here's a tracker, check off the freaking boxes. I know Shelby had made a binder. I know you guys have heard from Carrie, obviously. She came on and did a team call for us, and she used a binder to organize her stuff. Shelby had actually just written down all of these little spots and stuff on her binder and has been checking them off. So that's something that you guys can do if you need to. But I'm committing to doing a posting calendar every week for you guys because I feel like it helps. I've asked some coaches and they're like, you know what, the idea is just nice to have. So I'm committing to do that as long as you can commit to post on social media. Obviously, you can come up with that kind of stuff. And then the tracker is really going to organize your guys' business. So what to do from here. If you're a newer coach and you signed up in maybe October-ish, November or December, reach out to your coach and say like, hey, I need into this coach mentorship. And then your coach will reach out to me, and then I'll get you both added into the group. If you are somebody who kind of like has fallen off and you're like, I really need to push reset, I will totally make sure you have access to week 1, week 2, week 3. I'm probably going to leave you in my building your success pod that I have, just because you have more knowledge than you think you do. It's just the consistency piece that we need to work on. And then the push pod for right now, it's going to stay the same until the leaders get their 3 people they're going to do, and then we'll clean it out and add our 3 leaders in there. So that gives you a couple weeks if you're pushing for diamond and you really want a spot in there to help 3 of your leaders. Kind of gives you a little bit of push and momentum and stuff. So, okay. Last thing I want to show you, I've been doing this thing for like a week and a half to figure out how to freaking invite people, where to get them from, and a system to get into. So how many of you guys were on Carrie's call when I was in Miami? So it was like, I don't even know, what was it, like a month ago, maybe now? Yeah. So she came on, she talked about using a binder, organizing all of her stuff. She talked to you guys about how she went to her stories and thanked people for watching her stories, screenshotted it, went back a couple of days later, invited people, just continued doing that. And I was like, there's something about what she's saying that I need to like listen to. I don't want to do the whole thing that she's doing, because for me, like, I feel like part of it is not going to move my business forward. So I was sitting here going back and forth and back and forth. And so I started my own little tiny system. It's been working. Obviously right now during the month of December, it's a little bit lower because people are like ghosting me just because I think they're having fun with it. But come January, February, March, like, it's going to be a good year. And I know that. So what I have been doing, and you can start today, you don't have to like wait for anything. Whenever I pick my phone up, so normally like tomorrow morning, so Monday morning, I'm going to grab my phone. I'm going to go to the first frame on my stories, and I'm going to scroll up and it'll show you all of your viewers. So what I did was I figured out like what my first frame was. So I'll just go to my Instagram right now, just like I would tomorrow morning. Click on my stories. I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning. So the beginning of my stories is my PD. It's kind of hard to see. It's just a book. So what I did, or what I'm going to do tomorrow, is I'm going to go to that first frame. I'm going to swipe up and I'm going to say something about my PD. Like it just talked about getting off the fence, making the decisions, those kinds of things. So I sent a message out to people, and I said something like, or I will say something like, something to deal with my PD. Something like, I'm just trying to think. We have to fill up our cup first in order to have energy to do the rest, or something like that. Thanks for catching my stories this morning, or thanks for starting your morning off with me. It means a lot to me. Something like that. I don't want to just say like, thanks for following me, thanks for watching my story, because that's not who I am. I'm more of like, I call people out like, hey, did you see my PD this morning? Like, you should read it, like screenshot it, read it every single day. Like something that has to do with the picture. So if your first frame, like I know T always does like a TikTok video, dude, you go through all that whole thing and you pick one move out of your video and you're like, oh my God, girl, did you see that little like frame? It was my favorite, you know, or something like that. And just asking questions, engaging with people who are watching your stories. So I just go straight through all of the people. And when Carrie said she thanked them, I was like, that makes sense. She's making a connection with them. So instead of just thanking everybody all the time, I'm just making a connection with them. So like, if my best friend went and saw my story, I would be like, oh my God, girl, did you see my PD this morning? It was so freaking awesome. Go back and read it. Like, it's going to change your life. And I would literally send that to everybody who watched my stories. So when I went through, what I did was I creeped like their messages and stuff. Like if I just invited them yesterday, I didn't send the message to them. If I invited them in October, I sent them the message. If I've never invited them, I sent them that like thank you message basically, or that connection is what I'm going to call it. So I connected with every single person that watched my stories. If I didn't just recently invite them, or they told me no, or, you know, something like that. And then I went right to my inbox after that, screenshotted it, just like Carrie had said. But then I was like thinking, okay, Jody and Skylar are going to freak out because their phones are going to be so unorganized. So I picked all of the photos from just that day. So tomorrow will be Monday. And if you click all of your photos and then you click Gmail, you can actually mail it to yourself. So you can mail all of the screenshots to yourself. And then the subject of my email is invite on Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm going to invite that third day, if that makes sense, because that's 2 full days. So then I go to my email. I'm going to show you. Don't mind me, I accidentally bought a lot of stuff. Do you see where it says like Megan Geese invites what day to invite? So it says like Megan Geese invite Tuesday, Megan Geese invite Wednesday, Megan Geese invite Monday. So what I'm going to do tomorrow, once I go through my list of connections, grab my pictures, email it to myself. I usually go, so it's Monday, I usually go Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm going to invite them that third day, if that makes sense. Because that gives them 2 full, basically 2.5 days of creeping the crap out of me, like they need to join. So then on Thursday is when I send the, hey, Jessica, I see you're still following up with my stories. It means so much to me. I'm sure you probably saw my holiday challenge because I've been talking about it. So I'm sure you saw my holiday challenge. I have 3 spots left. Would you be interested in joining up with me? Would you be interested in more information? Just asking some sort of question. Through doing that, you guys, like I have gotten way more yeses, way more no thank you, like, but I absolutely love your stories and I'm going to continue to follow you. I've gotten way more answers in general, like crap, I was going to message you, but I totally forgot, versus just going through my stories and like inviting everybody, if that makes sense. So to me, I'm taking the time to connect with them first. I'm taking the time to give them some time to watch my stories. So I know they're watching my stories. So I know like I got to show up these next couple of days. I've got to talk about my boot camp. I've got to show them what I have to offer. I have to give back to them. So it basically holds me more accountable in my stories. And then on Thursday, when I invite them, they're still watching my stories. They're still, I don't know, like going through my stuff. I know they saw my boot camp because I talked about it. I know they saw me talking about coaching, all of those things. So the invite is more, it's kind of like if someone likes or comments on your picture. To me, like if I initiate like, hey sister, I see you watching my stories. And then now I'm in your inbox 3 days later, like, hey, I still see you watching my stories. They're like, oh shit, she's calling me out. Like, all right, I'll join. That's kind of how I see it, I guess, if that makes sense. So I guess the only difference is I went through, I picked a frame. So like if it's Monday morning, I'm going to pick the first frame of my stories. If I decide to work my business Monday night at 7 o'clock, I'm going to pick my stories from 7 o'clock on Sunday. So I just pick like the same time, but a day behind, I guess, if that makes sense. So then now you're trying to pick morning, afternoon, night kind of thing. And so that's helped me a lot more, just going through and connecting with people, not necessarily thanking them because some of them just click through. So like, I felt like thanking them was a waste of both of our time, I guess, I don't know if that makes sense. So I just thought that connecting with them would make more sense. So saying something I would say to any of you guys, because y'all are like my best friends. So like I could literally just say, oh my God, Karina, did you see where like Remy like smoked me in the face with his paw? And she'd be like, oh my God, yeah, I totally saw it. Like having a conversation with these people because they know you, like they're your best friend because they watch you every single day. And then it makes me more accountable to talk about fitness, to talk about coaching, to talk about my life. So then when I invite them the second time or the first time, I guess, when I invite them, they're like, yeah, I saw what you were saying. Yeah, I'm interested kind of thing. So Monday, go through. So tomorrow morning, if you want, when you work your business tomorrow night, whatever it is. So go to your stories tomorrow, go through all of your followers. If you haven't recently invited them like yesterday or something, just go through and connect with them from your stories. So literally just go to your Instagram. And then if you scroll up, like here's all the people, and then just click this area. You can't really see it. Click the arrow on the side so it still shows the little piece of your story and then connect with them. Okay. Then when you're done doing that, don't do anything else, but go through your entire list. When you're done, then you're going to go to your actual inbox itself. And then you have all these conversations and you just screenshot down as many people as you just talked to. So 5, 10, 20, whatever it is. Then you go to your photos, select all of them, click Gmail, send it to your Gmail and say invite on Thursday. Okay. So then on Monday, you pretty much just set yourself up on Thursday for all of your invites. Okay. So doing this every single day, you'll notice you're going to have way more people on Monday, and probably towards the weekend, during the week, you might have only a couple, maybe 2 or 3 new people, just because not a lot of people are on social media during the middle part of the day. But then you're making that connection. And then on Thursday, I just go to my Gmail, I open it up on my computer, grab my phone, type the person's name, send them an invite. And then I go to the next person and the next person and the next person. And so I've just been getting more engagement from it. I've been getting more connections, more conversations. I've been having more fun on my stories, because now I can be like, oh my gosh, did you see Remy smoke me in the face with his paw? Like, you can't say that if you don't, if it is, if it doesn't happen. So people are just learning more about who I am. And it's not so much of like, watch my story, get an invite, watch my story, get an invite kind of thing, if that makes sense. So I'm actually not inviting off of my stories unless you click my poll, then yeah, I'm in your inbox in like a hot minute. If you're towards the top, so you follow me quite a bit, I'll probably still have a conversation with you. Maybe just depends on who you are. Because those are your creepers. Whoever is towards the top is like your notorious creeper. And then since the girls helped me fix my Facebook, your Facebook stories, open your phone, do the exact same thing. Pick something else though. Don't pick the same frame and don't say the same thing. Pick like the 4th frame or the 5th frame or something like that, and go through and do the exact same thing again. So now you just set yourself up on Thursday to send like 20 plus invites. And if you do it on Tuesday and you have 5, that's 5 more than you had before. Okay, so that's how I'm inviting off of my stories on Facebook and on Instagram. And I'm organizing it by selecting them, emailing it to myself, and telling myself what day to invite. And I'm still going to my posts. So like if 10 people like my post, I still am going through those 10 people, seeing if there's any new people in there to invite and talk to. I'm still following up with older people. I'm still liking and checking likes and comments on my Instagram, still following up with old people, if that makes sense. But that is what's working for me. And I can try to do a video tomorrow when I go through and do this, but that's literally what I've been doing. Giving it 2.5, 3 days has been better for me, because I feel like people are busy, and I feel like they're not, but they are. So they are. So I've been giving them a few extra days. And then I make sure that whatever I'm doing, saying on Instagram is different from Facebook, because a lot of people, and you're going to notice this once you start tracking your business, a lot of people are the same, but, you might have, several handfuls of people that are different, which is good too. So just really hitting it on both pages. So my invites are now coming from doing the work a couple days ahead of time. And this, you guys, this is going to help you stay consistent with your business. Because if I don't have an email on Monday from people to start invites to, I'm like, crap, I didn't work my business. And so it's like the first thing I do now every morning. I just go through my stories. And then let's say you run out of people, you don't have newer people, you're not connecting, you're not adding new followers, you're not messaging. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to help you, like, crap, I need to go add 5, 10 people on Facebook. I need to go comment and connect with 20 people on Facebook so they come to my page. Same thing with Instagram kind of thing, if that makes sense. So I just feel like this is really going to get things, oh, shoot, sorry, there's a chat. I did not even see that. This is going to get things kind of in motion. So, okay, Skylar said, I like this a lot better than the other way. It was too complicated, and this is super simple. So literally, when I wake up, I shouldn't, but I grab my phone. That's like the first thing I do. I used to check my messages, and then I would get all down on myself because 20 of them were like, no thanks, I don't have any money. Used to like start my morning off crappy. Now I go right to my stories, and I like give back gratitude to people. If you remember the video I put in the team page or in your pods about did anybody happen to watch it? It was about like people coming in and taking a test on how happy they were. Then they had them think about a person they were grateful for. They wrote a letter about it, and then they actually had to call the person. And then like they found out they were way happier at the end of that than at the beginning. Anyway, I was like crying my eyes out because I was like thinking about people I was so grateful for. I was like sitting there writing this letter. I'm like, oh my God, I need to call them. Like, and I just felt so much better. This is the same thing. You wake up and you're giving gratitude to people who are watching your stories. You feel so much freaking better. And then you go work out and you feel even more better, and you drink Energize, and now you're like over the rooftop, and then you come and work your business, and it's a whole lot different because you're setting yourself up for success, if that makes sense. Making the connection definitely is huge. And then actually what she had said was, Alyssa said, making connection that way. So like they'll go back to your stories. Like a lot of people, if you send like a little piece of their story and then you like send a message about it, they might go back and check it out. And then on like Thursday, when I invite them, I go to their actual email or their actual inbox. So it doesn't have my story on there, obviously, because it's gone. And I feel like it's more of a personal touch because they know that I went to their page, I clicked on message, and I actually messaged them privately, if that makes sense. So that's helped a lot. If they don't respond, are you still inviting 3 days later? So if I send you my story with like the little connection on Thursday, I'm opening up my email. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not, fears and doubts are gone. I'm inviting the entire list of people, if that makes sense. Whether they responded or just double tapped or whatever it was, because they're still watching my stories. Like I went back today just to see, because I was like, maybe I should go back and make sure they're actually watching my stories and then invite them. But like every single person was watching my stories again. So I was like, okay, at least I know that they were watching it, and they probably watched it once between the last 3 days, if that makes sense. Unless I said something that like offended them, then they probably were like, screw this girl, I'm not following her stories. But like, I don't think that'll ever happen unless whatever. So to answer your question, Jody, like I just open up my email on my computer, I open up my Instagram, and I go through each person, I create their page really quick, and I send them a personal invite using Jody, talking about, you, if that makes sense. And I invite all those people. And if I'm only inviting anywhere between 5 and 20, it's freaking personal. Like I have the time to get a little bit more personal, if that makes sense. So even if they don't respond, sometimes my connection doesn't have a question. It's just like, thank you for, I don't know, waking up and starting your morning with me. I hope you have a great week or something like that. Like it doesn't have to have a question. So yeah, then I do go back and just invite them. And then that's the way to track your business too. Because you have it on email, and then you also have it on your phone, I guess. And then if I have people that are interested, they go on this like list, and then the people that like sign up get highlighted or something. That's just a way you can track. So I don't know if that made any sense, but it was making sense to me when I said it. So hopefully it does. But what she was saying made a lot of sense. There was just pieces that I was like, how can I make this more of me? So I just started with my Instagram. So if you start it tomorrow, it's going to take you a little bit longer than normal, just because it's probably a lot of people you're connecting with at first. I'm on that list. Look at that shit. You are on my list. You coach. I was like, what? But it might take you when you first start. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday might take you a little bit longer, just because you're going to have a lot of people that you're messaging and checking messages and stuff. But like by Friday, you're going to be like, oh, I just messaged her. She looks familiar. I messaged her already, kind of thing. But I have a lot of people, like I was telling Karina, that like fell through the cracks that I never actually like wrote down, because I was like, oh, they're probably not interested. And then they were. I had a lot of people like that fell through the cracks that I responded to today, which was awesome. And I actually apologized. I was like, I apologize. Like I completely checked your message and forgot to respond. Guess what? People do that to you all the freaking time. Like I just ghosted this girl for 2 weeks. Like people do that and they don't mean to. So, yeah, it's been helping. And then my posting, since you're going to be posting every day consistently, you're going to have invites from there, which is awesome. So now you're going to have anywhere between 5 and 20 people a day instead of just like 2. So like hopefully that helps with numbers. And then if you're like, well, crap, I don't have any new people watching my story, that means you need to do connection, and that's on your to-do list anyways. Like go to their page, find 10 people, like and comment a bunch of stuff, leave their page, go to Facebook, do the exact same thing. So hopefully that helps a little bit. I'll try to do a video. It's just I don't do everything on my computer. Some of it's on my phone too when I work, but it's been helping. So if you want to start something, I would just start tomorrow. Whenever you sit down and work your business, or I don't know, maybe you have 20 minutes in the morning or something, like just go open up your stories and give to people, serve people, like thank them for watching your stories, but do it in a way that, sounds like Shelby, sounds like Karina, sounds like Brooke. It doesn't have to sound like everybody else. Actually, I'll read you some of my like ones just to give you some examples, because I know I'd want one. I did. So this was a girl I accidentally dropped the ball on. She watched my workout video. I was doing push-ups and stuff. And I said, Ashley, morning love, over here fighting to get 1% better every day. Thanks for supporting me, even if you might just be breezing by. That's all I said. So she double tapped and we've been talking and I dropped the ball and like apologized. And then I like sent her that message and she double tapped. So like, at least she's nice enough to give me a double tap. Another one I did was, let me find you a different one just to give you some other ideas. This one was a video, like the middle of a video. And I was talking about taking action in your life. And even if 2019 sucks, you've got 2020. So I said, no matter how 2019 is ending for you, you've got all you need inside of you to rock 2020, sister. That's all I said. Copied it to all of my newer people. And that 2 seconds brightened someone's day, if that makes sense. So like just knowing that you're giving gratitude to people. And then let me show you my invite too. This one was like a PD one. So this is the one I have to do tonight. So it says, thanks for starting your day with me. I've been loving this devotional. And then I put unshakable because that's what the devotional is. And I said, so good and tons of deep thinking. Happy Friday Eve, Kelly. Like I actually added her name at the end. So I made it more personal. And then when I go back and invite, it says, Sarah, notice you've continued to follow along with my crazy stories. I do have a few spots left for babes ready to slice some goals before the end of the year with me. Would you be interested in more information? So like I said, hey, I see you watching my stories. I have some more spots if you're open. And I've actually had way more responses doing it that way than just like going through my stories. So this is what it looks like. So here's like a picture of my story with the message. She didn't respond because there's no question or anything. And then I sent her an invite. So like, that's what sorry, it's really bright, but that's what it'll look like. So the first one's probably like a little bit more generic, general. And then the second invite, I use their name. I talk about something on their picture or something like that. And then I know that they've seen it and my Instagram story views and profile views have gone up since I've been starting to do that. So it's getting people to come check it out anyways. So, and then Jody showed me this, if you set your Instagram to creator, it's in the settings, your inbox will have 2 options. It'll have a primary and it'll have a general. I'll show you that really quick. And then I'll let you go. Oh, Shelby just messaged my story. Okay, so you see how it says primary and then general. So primary is like, I just put everybody in my primary, and then if they're interested, I move them over to general. So now I have this entire thing of interested people, if that makes sense. You can't really see it, it's really bright. But my general is like, I'm interested, send me more information. On Friday when I follow up, like I go all the way to the freaking bottom, like follow up with all of them until they tell me like, no, leave me the hell alone, like, or something. Otherwise I just put them on a list for next month. But my primary is like, all my conversations. And then once they give me like, I'm interested, send me more information, then I move them over. So Facebook, you don't really have that option. So what I've been telling a lot of coaches is like on Facebook, if someone says, yes, I'm interested, write their freaking name down. Like, write it down on a piece of paper, put it down so you have it, and then continue to follow up with them every couple of days. And then once they sign up, like highlight it and celebrate with them, you know, whatever you need to do, but keep moving them over on the list until they basically join up, I guess, if that makes sense. Shelby, it's in settings. If you go to your phone on settings and then it just says your account, you'll have to play with it. I'll try to screenshot and do a video just to show you guys. If you go to settings and then if you click on it, it's like the third one down. It says Creator Plus. It's the third one. If you click that, then you'll have the option of having 2 messengers. But that's what's been working, I guess, if that makes sense. So just some changes, trying to make this business more simple, if that makes sense, because I feel like we make it too hard. We don't see success and we're like, oh, it's so hard, I'm so overwhelmed, I don't get it. No, you're just making it too hard. Like, it's super simple, just let it be simple. And so trackers are going to be going out and stuff. the New Orleans group is open, so I'm going to start adding people into that group. We're going to have our check-ins and stuff, and then I have a guest speaker on Sunday for our team to kind of like get everybody in the right mindset for the new year, and then we're going to kind of like go after Christmas and stuff. So one last thing, I was talking to Karina. She signed up with me probably like winter time, and you know, she was like doing everything. She was posting, she was inviting, she was messaging, she was following up, she was sharing transformations, she was real and raw, and like had 0 Success Club points, like not even kidding you, and was like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? And I was like, I don't know. Like, she literally was doing the things. And today she told me, like, in January, she hit diamond in like a hot second, like, because she just like had to do the work before, and like then it exploded for her. And so right now, people are ghosting you because they're busy doing other things, making other decisions in their life. They have to deal with family. Sometimes that's the hardest freaking thing if your family's not quote unquote perfect. You know, so just give them some grace. Understand that like they have a lot of stress on them right now, probably because their kids are like, I want, and they're just trying to like do the things, if that makes sense. So all you need to do for the month of December is show up and share your workout, share your journey, connect with people, and try to like talk to some pain points and stuff. And then like even over Christmas and even over New Year's, you're like the first one in their feed. You're the first one in their inbox, because come like January 1, like some people literally are weird and they message people like early morning January or like late night or whatever. But come January, like you need to be that person that they're like, oh, I'm going to message Megan so she shuts up. I'm joining her group. Like, stop talking to me. Stop asking me. You know, like they want you to be like that first person in their inbox. So my like challenge, I guess, for you for the month of December is forget about like people ghosting you, people saying no, all these things. Like, understand people have a lot of shit going on right now. It has nothing to do with you, nothing to do with you as a coach, nothing to do with your posts, your wording, your invite, nothing. It's literally just, it's just that time of the year. People have other things that they are worried about, basically. And so for yourself, worry about your workout, your fitness, your nutrition, getting really good results, sharing those, encouraging people, because come January, like you're going to be like, holy crap, my inbox, people will not leave me alone. Like everybody wants to join. And be like, you're welcome. Congrats. Like, so just keep doing what you're doing. And they will come around. And I really do feel like right now, especially after my like PD this morning, like people are just making all of these decisions and trying to please everyone, so their tanks are all empty. And then we're over here like, oh my God, come join me. And they're like, I really want to, but I don't have the money, I don't have the time, the energy, because they really just don't, because they've been giving to everyone else besides themselves. And for some freaking reason, January 1, like they're like, screw everyone else, I'm going to pick myself. But like, I don't know, whatever, just do the things that you need to do now. Find the people in the cracks who want to join up with you today, tomorrow, whatever. And then come January, like our team is going to have this foundation. Our team is going to have all of the tools, the consistency to do and to reach all of our goals. So just kind of keeping that in mind, if that makes sense. Yes. Okay.